Today, let's talk about some descriptions of fashion styles. So some style descriptions. You'll hear things like boho, durable, low rise, high rise, all the things that you would see in other people's titles or things you may need to know to put into your own titles. Anyway, it's just a little slang, lingo, whatever. So I hope you enjoy it. My name is Marion and I am a smiley thrifter. That's who I am, the smiley thrifter. And I am a reseller on Poshmark. I also sell on some other platforms. Had a retail store until the end of 2021, but no more. So I have lots of inventory, lots of experience. So let's just get started. Boho, slang for bohemian. They also call it chic, boho style. So it's loose and relaxed, and it so varies. I can tell you that I put it in things that I'm not sure of, but then when I look it up, they are considered boho. So loose and relaxed fit. I'm going to say a little hippie-ish, maybe a lot hippie, because I do put that in the title or in the description sometimes also. A lot of the clothing includes embroidery. So it will have embroidered, lots of earthy tones I find, but all colors, but a lot of tans and rusts and browns. So flowy and free spirit is how I read it once. And I like that because it's flowy and free spirit. A lot of things are oversized or just big and cut different. A lot of fringe, a lot of embroidery, like I said, lots of different things like that. So just think of natural colors, tans, etc. Mostly, but not all, because there also are some pastels and some of the really nice deep rust colors, etc. But basically, boho, bohemian, hippie, loose, free, not really wild, but loose and free spirit, free spirit. Okay. The next is boot cut, as in boot cut pants. So I'm going to look down because I'm looking at my foot. So think of how your leg looks when you are in something that just flares a little bit and covers the boots, or at least covers the top part of the boots. That is boot cut. So between straight leg and flares is a boot cut. So it's going to hug you on your thighs and flare out from the knee. The flare of these jeans, though, is not dramatic like the bell bottom that we talked about. The bell bottom kind of goes whoop, and this kind of goes like this. Let's see. And then when it gets to the bottom, it just kind of goes like that. So it falls really nice on your boot. So some of them really look great with heels too. I mean, it's not just boots, but heels, shoes, boots. I even wear them with sneakers sometimes. It just is a nice cut. Boyfriend jeans. So now if you've heard the term boyfriend jeans, think of more of the boy jeans. When I say that, I mean like loose fitting jeans for women that kind of taper at the end. And I think they're mostly worn on the lower hips to give that slouchy look. Another word that I'll put in my listings or descriptions is durable. And when we think of durable, think about it. It's more of the outdoor type stuff, material that lasts. I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the exact word, but high quality materials, like even some of the big name brands are very durable, even though they look very dainty. So it's basically something that will last, something that, If you were going hiking and buying a hiking boot, you want it to be durable. If you're going and jumping around and hitting your knees on the ground, you want your pants to be durable. That's my best example for you. Next one is a fad. Do you know what a fad is? Put in the comments below if you know what a fad is. It's a fashion that's popular, but it goes in and out. It comes in, it comes out. The fashion trend comes and goes, but it can come back many a times. It can never come back again. It's just a fad. I think that's basically a good definition for it. Next thing is fashion forward. That's someone whose wardrobe is always in fashion, in trend, the latest trends, up and coming trends. A lot of the influencers out there are very fashion forward. They actually will sometimes start the trends. So I'm going to say fashion forward is trendy. Fast fashion. I think of name brands like Shein, maybe Fashion Nova, but I think Shein's worse. if there's one worse or better. And it used to be H&M, not anymore, but how can I explain it? The cheaper or the imitations, that's it. Places that will see something on a model and then redo it with their name, almost the same. That is definitely fast fashion. Next one is eco-conscious clothing or eco-conscious friendly clothing. This refers to garments that are designed with the focus of minimizing what happens to them as they break apart, as they slowly get older. So what impact they're going to have on the environment? It's definitely called sustainable clothing because you know that either you're buying it because it's made. I do have a couple of clothing pieces that certain parts of them are recycled and you'd never know it. It's like denim, actually. The dress that I have, that you wouldn't know it's recycled. Girlfriend jeans, you will also hear that term, and all that is a skinnier version of the boyfriend jeans, basically. Highlow. Have you ever seen in a listing Highlow and you're like, what the heck is that? How could it be high and low? I used to put in asymmetrical because it was different shapes, different or whatever. But now I put in high-low also, because what that means is, think about a dress, let's say, that comes up to your knees in the front, but then comes a little bit lower in the back. So it's high in the front, low in the back. That's how I remember it. Low-rise jeans sit a little bit below your belly, more on your hips, so maybe a few inches below. Then you have the midi skirt. Compared to the mini could be anywhere from your knee to right above your calf or your mid-calf. Then we have mid-rise jeans, all these different things. So they're between your waist and your hips. And sometimes those are more comfortable than the low-rise because I'm trying to think if they're above or below your belly button. I think they're still below your belly button. So, yeah, no, I think I'll tell you which jeans I like when we get to them. Mini skirt. The funny thing is when I read what a mini skirt is, it says, I think 3 or 4 inches above your knee. Now, my question to you is, have you seen the youngins these days? No, I used to wear really, really mini, but those were skirts, but still. So I think now it's called the micro mini, that other one. So this is a mini skirt. I think micro mini is a bonus that I'm throwing in because I don't have it on my list of things that I want to share with you today, but it is actually a good one that's trending. I don't know why I have on newer glasses, and I just cut my hair a little bit, and I think it's not holding them up, so excuse me. All right, the next one is palazzo pants. Now, I can't even believe they still use this term, palazzo pants, but they do. And they're the wide-legged women's pants. Now, a lot of these are considered boho, just so you know, boho-ho. And they flare out evenly from your waist to the floor. So they're more like this. So definitely a lot of boho in there, a lot of hippie in there, and they're made very lightweight and they're flowy. Usually, I'm sure they make other materials, but for the most part, they're very light and flowy, and that's what makes them comfortable. You'll see a lot of people wearing them at music concerts and different things where they'll be wearing them all day, so they want to be comfortable. I'm trying to look and see if there are any other names for them. So the thing that I did leave out, because I do have little bullet points here, is that I left out of the palazzo pants that sometimes people will even mistake them for a maxi skirt. That's how they come down. Now, of course, it's not a maxi skirt, but you can mistake it for that. This next one I learned from Lori Tata. I love her channel, Boston Found. Anyway, she talks a lot about ruching, and ruching is when, I wish I had some clothing near here. I'm going to do my best to put up pictures. So hopefully you've been seeing pictures throughout this whole video, or I'll put them all at the end telling you which style it is. So please excuse me, still in the technology stages. So anyway, it's like, think of when you have a dress. If this top if this top was gathered or ruffled or pleated together in one spot, that would be ruching. You know how sometimes when the dresses want to make your waist look thinner, they'll have this little section, but it's kind of pulled in and gathered? That is ruching. So thank you, Lori Tata. She's very good. I haven't watched her in a little while because I go back and forth to different people, but love her, and I'd advise anyone to watch her channel. Secondhand clothes. So secondhand clothes have so many different names. You can call them used, you can call them pre-loved, you can call them pre-owned, you can call them gently used. Are there other words? I'm thinking. If you think of any, put it down below. Thrifted, that doesn't even always mean that it's secondhand. Years ago, they used to call it hand-me-downs. Like, I was the baby of the family, so I always got my cousin's hand-me-downs because it was me, and then everybody, she was 5 years older, and everyone from that was 3 years older, so I was the little one. I got all the hand-me-downs, but I didn't mind. I loved them. She got nice clothes. They had more money than we did, so don't say anything about hand-me-downs. Secondhand clothes can be found where resellers shop, at thrift stores, at consignment shops, at estate sales, flea markets, garage sales, yard sales, anywhere that you can get clothes that someone has worn secondhand. And believe me, there have been things that I couldn't afford that I now have, and I have doubles and triples because it's so much cheaper when you thrift, and it's so much cheaper when you buy secondhand, and it's a sustainable thing to do. And now, you know, we're definitely trying to save the environment, so it's a good thing to do, I think. A street skirt. Do you know what a street skirt is? Put it down below right now if you do. The hemline of a street skirt is at or above the knee. So you can have a mid-length if it's above the knee, and also call it a street skirt. You can have something in between. Also put in your definition or in your title. T length, and this description, or saying, I should say, wording, has been out since I'm a kid. So T length is basically 6 to 7 inches from the floor. I guess they call it T length because that's what they used to wear when they had the tea parties. Remember how beautiful in the 50s, the 40s, 50s, 60s, I think 50s and 60s, I remember seeing T length dresses. So let's talk about skinny jeans. I think we all know what skinny jeans are. They are jeans that are tight from top to bottom. They like grip the leg. Now skinny jeans are really leggings, but in denim or in whatever jean material. So leggings are different, but skinny jeans are that same tightness that you find with leggings. I have to say, they really are. I know, I still wear them even though they're not in style. But I don't believe anything ever goes out of style. If you feel like you fit in it well, if it fits you well, and if you feel like you look good in it, or you feel thinner or whatever, plumper, wear it. Don't worry about what anyone says, okay? So trendy, and we've spoken about other things that are trendy, but it's basically wearing whatever is in style right now. If you're wearing whatever's in style right now, you are trendy. So a lot of people ask me what a wardrobe capsule is. Now, this is different for different people. For me, I don't have a capsule wardrobe because I couldn't live with a capsule wardrobe. But I like more things. I like color. I like having lots of different types of patterns. But that's not what it is. What a capsule wardrobe is when you buy things that you can interchange with each other. I want to just see what I wrote here. A few pieces of clothing, and I got this from somewhere, some vlog, or so some of these things I'm taking word for word. I'm going to read them to you because it'll explain it better than I will. So it says a wardrobe capsule, a collection of a few clothing items, and it's really not a few. It's 10, 20, 30 clothing items selectively chosen with the plan of creating many interchangeable, I think I said the right word, outfits. The intention is to keep the number of clothing items purchased to a minimum while also having options. So basically minimalism. A minimalist would love and probably have a capsule wardrobe. You probably don't even need a closet, though you probably have one, but you know how our closets are overflowing? Tell me if you do that capsule wardrobe and how it works for you. Maybe you want to come on and talk about it, because I'd love for people to hear more. I am going to do a video on it eventually, but I need to learn more before I do a video. So if you have a capsule wardrobe, or if you know a lot about it, put it in the comments below and maybe we'll interview you. Woo! So, vintage. Nowadays, you need to know what vintage is. And when you're 60, vintage is when you're 40. When I was 40. So I'm vintage now. 20 years. Now, some say 20 to 100 years. But it's anything 20 years. I guess at the 100-year mark, it may be antique. That's not on my list, so I'm not sure. But let me just see what I wrote here. So, the age of the item determines if it's vintage. If an item was iconic in that fashion period, it can be labeled 80s, 90s, 2000s. You know, it doesn't just have to be vintage. Or you could put the year in. This way people know. And like now, Y2K was a big thing. It still is. But so things like that will attract people to your listing or your vlog or your title, whatever. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, or even if it's something now that they're making, you can put in, most of the places that do make these type of vintage things have vintage in their label, but you could, I forget what words you'd use for that, so that's terrible. Retro, no, because retro is also vintage. There's, I put in faux vintage, FAUX, but there is a word, if you know it, put it down below. I'm losing my mind every once in a while. 60. I just turned 60 for those of you who haven't been watching me a month ago. Oh my goodness, a month ago already. So I'm 60 a month in a couple of weeks. And yeah, that's all I have to say on that subject. So if you like content like this, give it a like and also hit that subscribe and ring that bell if you want more content like this. You can do it even if you're watching on your TV nowadays. Just go up and then go. Like, I'm just helping you out there. Okay, have a great day. I appreciate you, and I will see you.